Good evening, and welcome to your Tuesday evening news roundup. Marigold informs me that there is a plastic bag that is stuck on the power line outside the studio. Well, would you look at that? I am, of course, surrounded by electronics, and they all seem to have a deep hum of expectation and potential. Thank you, Mary Ann, for that report. In local economic news, a bus is seen listing lazily down Broadway. It seems to be one of those newfangled buses that runs on the shadows that exist between the streetlights. I am told it smells of stale cigarettes and the desperation felt in a corporate hotel lobby. Seems very efficient, so I am all for it. Remember to use those buses when the snow is heavy, such as it is today, to avoid the biting cold. The wounds caused by the cold have been proven to lead to sepsis and the feeling one gets when eating too much pizza. Sounds terrible, indeed. This is why I float everywhere. The Department of Public Works reminds the owner of a 1995 Oldsmobile Aurora to stop parking in front of the fire hydrants in town. They are not quite sure how you are always parked in front of all of the fire hydrants in town all at once, but the misuse of the time-space continuum to accomplish this was outlawed last year by the City Council. Those spots are reserved for Amazon delivery trucks. Please remove your vehicles. Whatever. And finally, the weather is as alluded to earlier. Cloudy, with winds approaching unmanageable, and far too much snow to feel like accomplishing anything, but you have to go out anyway. That concludes our Thursday News Roundup. Stay safe, citizens. Good eventide, and welcome to our Friday evening news roundup. Marshall informs me that the plastic bag is still stuck to the power line outside the studio. I would like to inform Michael that I am, in fact, still surrounded by electronics, and they are still humming. The Parks Department would like me to read the following press release.
A woman crosses the street. A work van glides with purpose down an alley. Purposes unknown. The sun watches all. It frees us from the clutches of winter. A school bus is flanked by 9 other vehicles as if an emperor flanked by centurions. Why are there tracks in front of the park? The sun is bright. It is unforgiving.
Yes, I have noticed that as well. There seem to be more people using the park lately, and that is wonderful. But please, as the Parks Department asks, remember to clean up after your dogs. With some of yesterday's snow melting, there seems to be a lot of dog poop in the park. In traffic, there was an accident at the intersection of Walnut and Chestnut, where a rowboat seems to have taken a wrong turn off of the river due to the melting snow and has collided with a lawnmower. Nobody was injured, but it seems the response to the accident by the local police was delayed because, quote, how the fuck were we supposed to know that we would need boots to get to work today? It's winter. Riveting stuff. Well, avoid the nut streets for the moment and stick to the old abandoned hunting paths in the woods. Nothing bad ever happens there. Your weather for today is the releasing of winter's often depressing grasp, the fading of reminders of death with a slight chance of hope. Enjoy it while it lasts. I had just shut the curtains, but I'm not sure if it's the spots in my vision from the glaring snow or something else. But I swore I saw... Never mind. That concludes our Friday News Roundup. Stay safe, citizens. Good afternoon, and welcome to our Saturday News Roundup. The plastic bag remains. The electronics still hum. Crows. So many crows. Good morning, and welcome to our Sunday News Roundup. Misha informs me that the plastic bag is in fact still hanging in there. That is fantastic news. We should name it. I'm happy to inform you listeners that the electronics are in fact still humming. All is well. We will start with the weather. A bit of spring weather has graced our fair city. A warm, gentle breeze of 43 knots has brought with it all of the feelings of hope and joy associated with the melting of winter. The squirrels have been seen prancing through the park. The birds, not the crows, are beginning to return from their self-imposed exile. The cats are doing cat things. A loud crash of metal is heard from somewhere up the street. The grass can be heard groaning back to life. I smell funnel cakes from up the road. Spring at last. Audience, I looked up to my right just now, and at the space where the red brick wall meets the steel ceiling, the eyes have returned. I saw them the other day before the crows appeared. They are rather cute in a fleshy, wet, slightly unnerving way. They look human, but are each the size of a league regulation basketball. They're all green except for one, which is pitch black and seems to draw me in. I've named that one Alexander. I'm unsure as to why. I would say that it is the whispers that have entered my mind since seeing them, but I truly believe I just like the name. Well, as the voices have reminded me, that does conclude our time here for this Sunday evening news roundup. Stay safe, citizens. I would wish you good Tuesday evening, listeners, but it is anything but. A semi-truck without a trailer has been seen cruising the Strip, also known as 3rd Street, and has reportedly kidnapped old woman Gracie and her poodle Reginald Augustus Fluffington IV. As of now, we are unsure how a diesel-powered vehicle overpowered a 6-foot poodle, but clearly this wonder has devious intentions. Not again. We will report on this as we learn more. My apologies, Marisha. There was breaking news. Back to my notes. Maximilian has informed us yet again that the plastic bag is keeping its faithful vigil on the power line, and the electronics around me are still humming. Breaking news! Old woman Gracie and her werewolf companion were found safe and sound at her home. It would seem that with the warm weather we are having, her and Reginald decided to do some gardening this morning and forgot about their standing bingo date with Tricia. Tricia saw the semi-truck as she was leaving the bingo hall on 3rd Street and was worried that it was the same one that terrorized our fair city only but 1 year ago. The truck was stopped by the local police and questioned, where they quickly determined that it was in fact not the same truck as this one had a driver. He was on the highway yesterday when the light breeze blew his trailer away, and he has been searching for it ever since. I'm not sure how this gentleman still has a job if he can so easily lose his cargo, but he is being escorted out of the city to avoid further panic. The driver is quoted as saying that he doesn't want to deadhead out of town. I'm not sure what kind of necromancy that is, but the practice as a whole has been outlawed since the early 1700s by city council. Now to Tricia. Don't scare me like that again. That took months of counseling the last time. Now to the weather.
The air is cold, although most of the snow has perished. The sunset is a soft amber. Although the trees remain still as the dead, the exhaust from the power plant rolls with pace, as though a gale ushers it desperately to lands far afield. There is a 30% chance of rain.
Well, that will be good for all of the cars that are covered in salt from the snow. Make sure to bring an umbrella. That will conclude our Monday morning news roundup. Stay safe, citizens. Good Tuesday morning, and welcome to our Wednesday news roundup. It would seem to be a normal day in our fair city. Everything is quite literally on fire. The flames bathe the city in a warm glow despite their angry and destructive nature. However, I am told by Millie that the plastic bag is still hanging on. Good for it. And my electronics still hum. Good for them as well. We are unsure about the weather, as the weather station has been razed to the ground by the inferno consuming the town. Well, with nothing interesting to report, I guess that will do for our Tuesday afternoon news roundup. Stay safe, citizens.